y'all, in the shop again. We got the Z3X here. We just picked this up about a month ago. We already have 111 hours on it, so it's time to do the break-in oil change on the hydro system. So we're gonna get right to it. Stay tuned. All right, so here's a few things you're gonna need to do the hydro service on it. You're gonna need a funnel. You're gonna need some conventional 20W50 motor oil. I've got two 5-quart jugs here. You're probably only going to use 4 quarts in each reservoir. You're going to have 2 oil filter kits. They have the O-rings that come with it to replace on the caps that cover over these filters here. Here's the model number. I'll try to zoom in on that and show you that. We have a 1 1/8 6-pointed socket here, a 1/2-inch socket with a 1/2-inch wrench to take the covers off for these filters. I got just a little hook tool right here just to pull these filters out of the housing. I've got an impact here with a 1/2-inch socket on it and some shop towels. So let's get right at it. Also figured while I was at it, just to be safe, I'm gonna do an engine oil change as well. It's supposed to be good for 500 hours, but I figured for the first initial oil change, I'd change it at 100 hours just to be safe and do it at the same time as I do the hydro. It's going to be real easy. Just got 5 quarts of oil, and you have the filter kit, which is right here. That's the model number right there. And it's 15W50 synthetic. Let's get at it. First thing I'm gonna do is jack this mower up, and I'm gonna remove the wheels. Now that I got the wheels off, I'm gonna jack it up a little bit more, and I'm gonna put the jack stands underneath these fenders here. And I'm also gonna go in the front, jack it up, and I'm gonna put some blocks underneath the front wheels. So I got it jacked up a couple inches, got a few pieces of plywood, bringing up the front end, and I just put a little level across the reservoirs to make sure it's level. You don't have to do this, but it's just something I like to do. Alright, next thing, I'm going to take these 1/2-inch bolts out from right here. That came out easy. Alright, so I got a 16-quart oil pan here. I'm going to slide underneath it. So it looks like I can leave the oil pan right there and take off my covers. I got a 1 1/8 inch socket I need to use right here to take the cap off. They got one on each side. These are the ZT4400s, in case you were wondering, from Hydro Gear. So I'm gonna go ahead and just crack those open and hopefully let them both drip at the same time. These are plastic, by the way, so be careful. You want to make sure you use not a 12-point socket, but a 6-point socket. That way it holds it real tight, and don't use an impact on it. Use a wrench or a ratchet with a socket on it, which that's what I'll be using. I'm surprised the factory didn't have them on very tight. They don't need to be that tight because they're plastic and they have a rubber O-ring on them. So that's good. Usually they'll put them too tight. Right. Okay. So here's the cap, and right here is the O-ring. There we go. A bit slippery from the oil, but there it goes. That's the old O-ring. You want to put a new one on there from the kit. So the kit comes with 2 O-rings, but the factory one seems a lot fatter than this one. I don't know if I trust putting this one on there. I think I'll slip this one back on and just use it over again. I do know if you have to buy these caps, they come with the O-ring already on it. So I guess if that O-ring fails and you don't have a replacement, you can always order the cap. I want to say it's like $30 for a pair of these caps. So I had to do that on my other mower. So, but I think I'm gonna keep this same O-ring on here, especially since it's the break-in oil. I mean, it's brand new, so I'm gonna keep it. Right, go ahead and pull this side off. So the only thing I'm going to be using is the oil filter. So these filters are made a little bit different from the factory ones. They usually have like a little spot where you can hook it in there to pull it out, but it seems these don't have those, so that may be a problem in the future, I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out and show you. See, that's what I was talking about. Used to be able to just hook it and pull it out. Looks like they changed them a little. I'll let that drain out. Go ahead and pull this side out. Of cleaning these off really good with a rag, and also around the threads real good. You cleaned all the dirt and debris away from that, from both of them. So make sure you do that. You don't want to get any debris into those expansion tanks. That'll mess your system up. So I'm gonna just keep them off like this and just sitting on top so nothing falls in them. This is gonna allow air to get into the system and flow out quicker on the bottom. Here's another look inside of there. I'll let that finish draining out, and then I'll slide the new filters in, and then I'll put the caps back on. I don't have a torque wrench, and I actually don't know the torque specifications, but I know it wasn't on there very tight. You don't have to put it on very tight. It's plastic and it has an O-ring, so use your own judgment on that. Definitely don't over tighten it though. Alright guys, so I went ahead and poured 1 quart out of each one of these jugs. This is a 5-quart jug, and I'm pretty sure it takes 4 quarts for each wheel motor. So I just want to be accurate with that. So I just went ahead and poured 2 quarts into this one, 1 from each of these. And it's got like a little sight right here where you can see it's at the 2-quart mark. So that way I can pour all of this jug into one wheel motor and all of this jug into the other. And if I need any extra on one of the reservoirs, I can just use from this container here. So I got 1 4-quart jug here and another 4-quart jug here. I'm gonna pay attention to pour this one into the back reservoir and that one into the front reservoir, just to keep them separated.
You gotta keep them separated.
And I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. Normally when you do a engine oil change or something like that, you want to warm the engine up so it'll all drain out. With the hydro service, you do not have to do any of that. As a matter of fact, you want to make sure you do it while it's cold. That way everything works just right and you don't get burned or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding the oil now. I'm going to start with the front one. And I'm just going to go until that reservoir is almost full. Don't want to overfill it. Alright. And then I'm going to move my funnel to the back one. Try not to make a mess here. Oop, almost made a mistake. Grabbing this jug here. Alright, that is full. Put that here. I'll just leave that there. So they're both full right now. We're just going to wait for that to go ahead and go down. But the next step we have to do now is on top of the wheel motors, there's a vent hole with a 7/16 bolt. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that. And what that's going to do is you're going to need to loosen that. Normally I would pull the bolt completely out. It's a vent hole, and that would allow air for this to drain down quickly into the wheel motor, and it would also allow the air that's trapped into the system to get out. Normally I would pull that bolt completely out, but this one is very hard to get to, and I think just by cracking the pressure on it, it has a rubber O-ring on it. I'll show you. So here's the wheel hub right here, top of the wheel motor like I was talking about. There's a 7/16 bolt. Just get you a box in ratcheting wrench, or if you don't have a ratcheting, you can do it without it, but ratcheting's easier. And it's right on top of here. and go ahead and loosen that up. Hopefully you can see this. Alright, so I just did 2 or 3 turns. Let's see if I can... Nope, that light's not allowing it. Hard to get a good shot here. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. So that's the bolt right there. Like I said, it's got an O-ring on it, the 7/16. Just get your wrench, loosen it up, go 2 or 3 turns, and that should allow enough oil to escape out right here. And once the oil starts dripping out right here, you're gonna have to keep an eye on it. And once the oil comes out, you want to go ahead and just tighten that down. That's going to allow all the trapped air in the system to rise all the way to the top and get out after you have put all 4 quarts in each wheel motor. So once you get down low on your jug, you'll know, then you have to start watching down here. Alright, while I'm waiting for the oil to go down in the reservoirs, I'm going to go ahead and do the oil change real quick. So there's going to be a tie wrap right here that you're going to have to cut off, and that tie wrap is there just to keep this from unscrewing. So you unscrew it, quarter turn, cap comes off. Your new oil filter kit comes with a new tie wrap, so when you're done you can tie wrap it back. Right here is the oil filter. You just want to turn it. It's like this. You turn it, and as you can see, it's got like a little catch up in there where it secures it down. Go ahead and pull it up. Put that one in your drain pan. Go ahead and carefully clean off the neck right here. You don't want to get any in the system. Don't want to get no dirt in that oil. Alright. Gonna go ahead and drain the oil out. So right here, this just hooks right there. You just pull that off. Might have to use some pliers, but this is just a little brass cover. It's just to keep debris from getting in there. Next thing you're going to do is just turn this valve. Right here, and unscrew it a few turns, and you can see the oil is draining out now. We'll wait for that to drain completely out, then we'll close that valve up, put the brass fitting back, hang it up, and then we'll put the 5 quarts oil in.
A few moments later.
Alright, so it looks like we're pretty much done draining. I'm going to go ahead and just close this valve all the way. Use these pliers just to kind of help tighten it a little bit. Same thing with this little brass cover. Just give it a little nudge with some pliers. Make this tight, and we can hang this back up. You want to make sure you come around on this side of the bar and hook it back to its spot. Now we can go ahead and put all 5 quarts back into the reservoir up here. So there's a little bit of oil left in each one of these quarts. What I usually do is I'll let them sit upside down with a funnel into one of these quarts, and I'll drain them all into it. Alright, the next thing, put your oil filter in. So you'll see an opening on each side right here and a notch on each side, so you want to stick it in, push down, and you'll feel it seat down. Once it seats down, turn it clockwise. Might have to use some pliers. There you go. Sometimes they're a little tight. Go ahead and put your cap back on. When you put it on, this part faces you. Push down all the way and then turn it. Stick your tire wrap through. Don't tighten it yet though. This right here is your dipstick. Make sure you clean it before you pull it all the way out. Like so. So it has like a little fastener, a little catch. That's the part that faces that way. Snaps in. So right there is the full mark. We're right on the money. Go ahead and tie wrap this shut. That way this won't come unscrewed on you while you're going down the road or in the yard. And the oil change is done. We'll go back to the hydros now. Alright, so got done doing the oil change. Came back here, checked on the front reservoir, and it's only going down about halfway. And this one emptied out at least 2 or 3 times, and I've filled it back up. So this one goes down to this one right here, and the front reservoir goes to that one over there. And I realized the hose is longer, it has more to travel over there, but I have both 7/16 vent hole bolts loose, 2 or 3 turns, and this one's draining really fast, that one's not so much. So I'm going to go ahead and put all 4 quarts into here, and that's going to be this wheel motor on this side. I'm going to watch for the oil to be coming out at the top of the vent hole, and once that happens I can go ahead and tighten it and we'll be done with that wheel motor. Then we'll have to just be patient on that one. Alright y'all, so I'll put all 4 quarts into this reservoir. That's this wheel motor right here. The coal full, it's almost to that point going down. So I should expect it to start coming out on top of the wheel motor where that bolt's at. So I'm going to go ahead and just wait for me to see oil coming out of there, and then I'll just tighten it up with this wrench here.
20 minutes later.
So I just went ahead and took my wrench and tightened up that 7/16 bolt right there. It hasn't gone down in the reservoir for at least 20 minutes now. It's at the coal full mark. It's got 4 quarts in it. It's not doing any little bubbles or anything, like it's still draining. So I think it's done and it's full for this side. As for the other side, it's draining very, very slow. So I don't know what's going on with that. I may have to just tighten that other side and let it sit for a couple hours and let it go down, and I'll have to come back to it. So I'm gonna just do that. Alright guys, so it's the next day. For some strange reason, the wheel motor on that side, this reservoir here, took a long time to drain down. I gave up on waiting. I ended up just tightening the 7/16 bolts up and letting it sit overnight and slowly go down. Came back the next day, it was completely empty. I filled it up again until I put all of the oil into it. So I got 4 quarts in this one, and I got a little bit more than 4 quarts in this one, but I think it's because the hose has such a long travel. It holds just a little bit more oil on that side. So I'm gonna disengage the wheel motors real quick, and that's these little knobs right here. You just lift and pull. like so. So if you ever throw a hydro belt and your mower runs but it doesn't move and you need to push it onto the trailer, you want to disengage the wheel motors, that way it'll roll freely. But we're also doing that to purge the air out of the line real quick. I'm going to start it up with it disengaged. I'm going to release the park brake and work the controls about 5 or 6 times. Hopefully there's no air in the system, and then I'm going to go ahead and re-engage the wheel motors and do the same thing. Put the wheels back on, and then I'm going to give it a try. Make sure I don't have any leaks right here, and if I don't have any leaks, I'm going to go ahead and put this panel back on. So we're all done. I got it off the jack stands, wheels back on, lug nuts are torqued. My 7/16 bolts on top of the vent holes are tight. They're not over tightened, but they're tight. And you don't want to over tighten those because they have a little rubber O-ring on it. But I think going forward, I'm not going to mess with the vent hole on this particular mower. Normally I pull those completely out when I'm doing the service on here. That way everything works quickly, but it's so hard to get to, and I tried just cracking it open. I didn't really see any difference. It took like overnight for it to all drain into the wheel motor. So I think I'll just go that way next time. I don't have any leaks. I did the purge on it. We're at the cold full mark on both of them. I'm gonna go ahead and drive it around a little bit, load it up. And if this was helpful at all, drop me a like, subscribe, and until next time, mow on. You guys are still here? The video's over.